Hello, hello. Y'all forgive me. I believe, a whole minute late on today. Please forgive me. But I am here. I am ready. It is Tuesday. It's 11:31. Let me got that out the way. Don't be holding stuff against me. It's 11:31. And y'all know what we do on Tuesdays. We go live with the word of the Lord. And I am so excited today, y'all. We have this word. We are in our next book of the Bible. Today we are in the book of Esther. Now, I know y'all probably have heard the story of Esther. You've heard about the things that she did. But I want to give you this conversation topic for today. And I'm not going to give it to you right up front. I want you to just hang in there with me, not give it to you right up front today. But I'll tell you, we're in the book of Esther. And Esther, it doesn't start off in this particular book talking about Esther, if you will. It starts off and it's talking about this other individual. Now today, if you didn't notice, I got a little different attire. I put on my little lace and stuff because today we're talking about queens. Yes, baby, we're talking about queens in the book of Esther. And Esther starts off with this first queen. Now, this first queen is not Esther, as I already told you. In chapter 1 of the book of Esther, it starts off with this queen, and her name is Queen Vashti. Now, Queen Vashti is spelled Vashti, Vashti. That's how it's pronounced. Good morning, big brother Jesse. Queen Vashti is one that it is described. She's married to the king. And it starts off and it talks about that she was a beautiful queen, and there's nothing like that, in this year of 2021. I remember New Year's starting off and all of the women, they had all of these things, queen, good morning, and queen, you got it, and queen, you go girl. It was this awesome thing where you saw women celebrate one another. So as I began to look at this text, I said, okay, we're starting off and we're talking about a queen. Well, if you go a little bit deeper and you read the text, however, it says that Queen Vashti was one that wasn't really favorable in the sight of the people. When I had to do a little bit of research on her, and y'all, when I researched it, it said that she was actually a wicked queen. Although she was beautiful and although she was very appealing to the eye, it says that she was wicked. It says that she was extremely vain. She was one of those individuals that thought just because I'm pretty, just because I look good, just because I smell good, just because, that's enough. Well, that didn't get her very far. There we go. The alarm went off. The king had this party, and it says the king had a party, and he invited all of the people to come together. And I was reading, that's in there. Did he just have this party for the guys? It says no, in chapter number 1, verse 5, that the king threw this party, and it says for all of the people. So the king has this party going on, and on the same day that he's having his party, it says that the queen, Queen Vashti, she throws a party as well. And that was interesting to me. I said, well, wow, they're couples, they're husband and wife, they're king and queen, but there's this division that shows up already in the beginning of the text. If you read a little bit further, it says that the king, they had this party and they partied for days. And they're having this party, y'all, and it says that the king gets to a place where it says he was married with wine. Didn't say if he was drunk or not, but it said that he was married with wine, and he told the individuals that served him, he's like, go get my wife. Go tell my queen that I want her to come, and I want her to wear her royal crown, and I want her to show her beauty off to the people. Now, there is this speculation. It's not in the Bible, let me be very clear, but there's this speculation when I was doing my research that the king was probably asking her to come so that she could dance for the men that were there. But there's no proof in text that that's the case. But that's interesting to know, because if that were the case, then what he was doing is not really showing off her beauty. He wasn't showing her off to be the queen that, we think of in today's terms, but maybe he was taking it out of context and he was showing her off to be something else. But again, the Bible doesn't say that, so we don't know. But reading a little bit further, it does confirm that the queen says, no, I'm not coming, I'm not going. You tell him that I'm not showing up for that. And as a result, the people that brought the message went back to the king and said, queen not coming. So what do you want us to do? The king, it says, became very furious and he became angry. I'm going somewhere with this morning. Hang on, because we're going to get to Esther. It says that he became furious and he became angry. And I could understand that perspective because, again, taking speculation out of the picture, if you are, you're my better half. If you're the one that's supposed to be there with me through thick and thin, why aren't you showing up? And not only are you not showing up, you're sending message that you're not coming. So now it's not even a private matter where you came to me and said, I'm not comfortable, I don't feel it, I want to just chill out over here. But you also send message. So now it's a public thing where everybody in our business that there's this division that's there, if you will. So it says that the king asked the people, because that was the custom. He didn't just make decisions on his own out of emotions. He asked his boys that was hanging around him. He's like, bro, y'all know how I say it. Bro, what do we do? What am I supposed to do? And the men, they were like, you know what? This could create an issue, because what she's going to model in front of the other women that heard and that were there at the party that she threw that I ain't coming, is that this is going to create this division that they will start to model. That they will start to say, you be over there and I'm over here. We don't have to be in the same place at the same time doing the same thing. But it's a party, it's a celebration. So the people were like, this is going to create division. This is going to create an issue. So the decision was made in that moment that, you know what, if the queen don't want to be a part of it, then I'll find a queen that does. I'll find someone that does want to hang in there. I'll find someone that does want to be on my side. I'll find somebody that wants to rock with me. So here we have now this next layer of situation that comes up. It's a situation, y'all. It's a situation. The next situation is now they put out this thing where they're like, go find me. The king is like, go find me some virgins. Go find me some women out there that want to be a part of this kinghood. So it says that if you go a little bit further, it says that this one of the guys that worked for him, his name was Haggai. Haggai went out and he found the women. But as he was finding the women, it says that he came across Esther. Now, Esther was an orphan that was being taken care of by her uncle. It says in text that Haggai took Esther with him. It doesn't say she volunteered. Doesn't say that she asked, can I be the queen? It just says that she was taken into this position. And because of the way that she interacted with Haggai, it says that she found favor with him. That's important. I want you to hang in there with that. Just hang there for a moment. She found favor with the one that was coming to look for the replacement. So she found favor with him, and the Bible goes on a little bit further, and it says that when she got to the palace, it said that now all of the virgins, all of the women that were there, they were now presented, and they had to go through this preparation stage. In this preparation stage, they would prepare themselves of this is how you become a queen, and this is how you should look, and this is how you magnify your beauty, if you will. And it says that as we go into this text, that all of the women had their opportunity to come before the queen. Before the king, I'm sorry. And before they came before the king, it says that they would gather the things that they thought that the king would be pleased in. The king would say, this is the one. So I could just see, I was visioning in my mind. I said, you know what, I bet they were like, you know what, let me get pretty today, because I'm going to meet the king, and I want to make sure that he picks me. I want to make sure that I'm the one. Y'all ladies know how we do it. We're trying to impress. They say, let me, or they might have said, let me get my smell good on so that the king will know that I am the one. They were working on the outside, if you will. I'm going somewhere. Let me make sure. Oh, yeah, y'all. These some pumps here, baby. These some pumps. I'm going somewhere. Let me make sure that I look the part. That I have my shoe gear together, because I'm going to be the future queen. Let me make sure that them lips are. Because I'm getting ready to go before the king, and I'm going to be the next queen. Let me make. Don't you judge me. Let me make sure that I got all the attire, because I'm going before the king. So I want to make sure that I'm getting ready to be the next queen, that I have all my stuff together. And it says that their focus was on all of the beauty preparation, the things on the outside. The tab, how does this connect to the Bible? It's exactly what the Bible says. It says that they went through the process of preparing with the perfume and preparing with the attire, but it was one queen to be, and her name was Esther. It says that Esther asked the same person that brought her into this situation, Haggai. She said, Haggai, what is it that the king desires? If I'm getting ready to be in this position where I'm supposed to be his better half, where we're going to be connected, a unit on the same team, what is it that he would desire? And it says that Haggai gave her instruction in that area. And when she came before the king, it says not only did she find favor with him, but she also found grace. And for those of you that need to read this story a little bit deeper, it says that later on what would happen down the road, because you see, not only was Esther a Jew, but Esther was also not just an orphan, but she was one that was not a part of their clique. You see, they were Persians. They were individuals that came from a different lineage. They came from a different belief or mindset, rather, if you will, that, we're over here and you guys are over here. The Jews were not the popular people of Qur'an. They were not the ones. Later on, they would be considered chosen, but at this time in this story, no, they wasn't having it. And it says it was this individual, and his name was Haman. And Haman wanted to be so bad in position. And her uncle Mordecai was one that, was refusing to say, I'm going to change God. I'm not bowing down to you. I'm not worshiping you. This is who I am, and this is who I'm supposed to be. And I'm not changing up just because you saying who you are. This is who I am. And although his niece was in position, it says that Haman became so angry and so frustrated that he began to put out this thing that, at some point in time, we're going to have to get rid of these Jews. At some point in time, we got to get rid of them because they're not understanding it. And it says that he got word, Mordecai got word to Esther that, look, this is what's getting ready to go down. It says that Esther now, she has found favor in the sight. She has become the new queen. She's not only had favor, but she has grace, and that's important. And it says that he tells her this, and initially it says she was like, well, what do you want me to do? She felt helpless, if you will, because she understood that, yes, I'm pretty, and that got me in the position, and I understood how to find favor in the sight of the people that work with him and find favor with the king. But what exactly is it that you want me to do? It says that her uncle sent word and had to remind her. He's like, look, I need you to understand that your beauty got you in position, but you got to do more than just be pretty. You see, if I go back to the first queen, the first queen, her name was Vashti. Vashti thought that being pretty was enough. As I told you before, I've heard so many women go through today, and in 2021, it's queen this and queen that. But there's more to being a queen than just being pretty. You see, there's more to being a queen than just looking the part. At the end of the day, when I looked up the definition of the word queen, it meant someone that is respected and someone that has great success. So the question that I have for you guys that are watching today is, when you use that term queen, I've had big brothers say to me, and people that were a little fond of me, to say, you know what, you are a queen. And I hope that when they said queen, it wasn't because they looked at this hair, or they looked at the dangling of my earrings, or they looked at the shape of my face, or the shape of my body, or they looked at, oh, she's easy on the eyes. I hope that when they said and referenced me as a queen, it was one that they said, you know what, there's grace that's among this lady. There's favor that's with her, because she knows how to talk to the people. She knows how to work with people. She doesn't create this division. She doesn't think that she's better than other people. She isn't vain. She isn't looking down her nose saying, I'm here and you're there. And her uncle Mordecai had to remind her. He's like, look, niece, I need you to understand that your beauty got you in position, but you still have work to do. It says that he said, do you think that if this decree goes forth, that you will just be in position, and that when you are Jew just like us, that it won't be you that they'll also come after? And what I love is Mordecai made it real clear. He said, now let me be clear to you, and let me help you understand. I know the God that I serve. I know that he's going to take care of us. I know that we are the chosen people. I know that we will survive this. But what I'm saying to you is, if you sit in position, queen, and do nothing, then what does that really say of your success? You see, I want to talk to my women out there. I want to talk to even my guys out there that have queens in your life. I want to talk to my young ladies that are princesses growing up to be these queens, Denise. I ask you this question: what really is making you a queen? Abdul, what is it when you're looking and you're seeing somebody and you're like, oh, that's a queen right there? Is it just the outer beauty? You see, if we go back to that story, if we go back to the first chapter in the book, The first chapter in the book with Queen Vashti, it says that she did this. She refused to connect and be a part of her king's palace and the party that was going on. And the concern was this modeling behavior was going to create division. And I took you on a little rabbit trail this morning, but we're getting ready to land right here. See, the landing point that I have is, what are we modeling as queens? Are we modeling that to be a queen that you got to make sure that your face is all did up? But my question is, when you can't get to the makeup, the question is, when you choose to take off the lipstick and the eyelashes and the eyeliner and the foundation and the concealer and the hair and the jewelry and all of that stuff, are you still a queen? Is your queen dictated by how you look and how you cover up the blemishes, or are you willing to be someone that was like Esther and say, you know what, I just come as I am, and the only thing that I know to do is look for grace and to look for favor? What is it in you that makes you feel that you're a queen? And is that queenship based off of how you look? Are you basing it off of your outer beauty? Denise, you got it. Or are you basing it on your inner beauty? See, what I love about this story is it wasn't a Rachel Leah kind of thing. For y'all that don't know, you got to read the story about Rachel and Leah, where one was easy on the eye and the other one was not that appealing. Both of these women were beautiful, it says on the outside, but both of them understood that beauty is something that I just can't use right here. Hey there, Jerome, I got to use something else. You see, what Vashti thought is that I can use the position that I have, the fact that I'm in the role, the fact that, you know what, I'm the one, look, he done put the ring on my hand, so I am the queen. But can I tell you that queen got moved out of position because what he decided is that he did not want someone in his life that created division. He did not want someone in his life that was modeling that we're going to buck the system of the person that you're supposed to be right there with. So I know it goes against some of these mindsets that have been put out there. And I want to clear up some mindsets, because we can't be of the world and of Christ at the same time. See, you can be beautiful and you can still be connected to your soulmate, to your sugar pie, to your honey bun, to whoever you're on the team with, and you can still be supportive. What she was demonstrating is, I'm not supporting you. I'm not going to show up for you. I'm not going to be there just because you called. Who wants that on their team? What he decided in that moment is that, Jerome, I don't want someone on my team that acts like this or that models this. So now when we get to this concept that the world has put inside of our heads, that you know what, all right, sis, you know what, you need to be able to hold your own. There's nothing wrong with that. You need to be able to stand on your own too. There's nothing wrong with that. You need to be able to, you know what, it's your world, and it's nothing wrong with that. However, when you're a part of a team, it's, as we've heard it said, there's no I in team. So are you in position by yourself? Is it just you and you? Or are you connected to someone, and are you showing up? It says that Esther was put in this position, y'all. She was put in this position where her uncle had to make it clear and say, look, babe, you cute and all of that, but understand this is what you're in position to do. And I love it because she rose to the occasion. And she said, you know what? Okay, beyond the makeup and beyond smelling good and beyond the heels and beyond the negligee, if you will, could God have given me this beauty so that I got into position for such a time as this? So I want to ask you, what is the time that you're in? Are you in a time frame where you're like Vashti? Are you in a time frame where it's all about looking the part but not being the part? Because you see, again, that definition of what it meant to be a queen was someone that was highly respected and had success. What success do you have outside of you cute? What success do you have outside of you got the Coca-Cola shade? What success do you have outside of, oh, I know how to wear it and sling it and slay it and lie and lay it and do all of these things? What are you really basing your success off of? I want to challenge you to look beyond the outer and ask you this question. As you guys are putting up in the chat, I see you typing, what's in your heart? It says that Queen Esther rose to this occasion and she said, you know what? I've got to handle this. I've got to step into position. And she was so committed, she said, and if I die trying, the fact is I'm at least going to try. Because she realized to be beautiful, but to have no success is worthless. So it says that she had this situation that happened where her and the king were interacting, and he said, let's have a banquet. And what I love, he asked her, when we have this banquet, anything that you want, Esther, you can let me know. And it said that what she said was that, you know what, let's have this banquet together. Woo, first thing right there, let's not skip over that. She said, I don't want you to have a banquet over there, and I'm having my thing over here. It's let's just come together. She said, and when we come together, I want you to invite Haman to the party. I want you to invite the one, because the king didn't know that he put all of this mess in the atmosphere about the Jews and how he was going to destroy them. I want you to invite him to the party. It says, you guys, if you continue to read in Esther, that he got to the party and he had already prepared himself. He was all puffed up. I'm getting ready to be the next person in charge, and I'm getting ready to follow and do what I wanted to do. I'm going to get rid of these Jews. And it says that he got to the party, and the king asked his queen, his better half, that was sitting there beside him, what is it that you want? And it says that, these are some things that I want. She said, but I have an issue. There's someone out there that's seeking to destroy me and to destroy my people. They're seeking to actually kill us, and I want you to handle that person. And it says that the king was like, oh my goodness, who would do such a thing? Like where are they at? Because I'm about to set it off up in here. And it says that she said, it's Haman. It's the person that I asked you to invite to the party. And you guys already know the fate of that particular individual. He was taken care of. But what I love about it, it says, if you read the text, that Queen Esther is the one that is attributed to, if you will, saving the Jews. Now, we know that God saved, but because of her courage, she saved the Jews because she was willing to step outside of what society says makes you fit the role. So the question I have for you on this day is, are you demonstrating courage, my queen? And this isn't just a message for the women, because what I believe is every king has a queen that is either in his life, meaning it's your mom, meaning it might be your auntie or your grandma, it might be your wife, or it may be a princess that you're growing up because God has blessed you with a daughter. What are the attributes that you're sharing with her and telling her makes a queen a queen? When I look at the story of Esther, what I see is a queen is someone that has courage. A queen is someone that understands that, yes, I can look good. I can look the part. There's nothing wrong with looking the part. There's nothing wrong with being cute. There's nothing wrong with being independent. But there comes a time when that independence sits on the side because you are a part of something bigger than you. Do the queens out there understand that being a queen means you've got to have courage? Or have we got to a place in our society where we're so wrapped up in looking the part and smelling the part and wardrobing the part that we've forgotten what it means to be a graceful queen? When I look at this story, it showed me that although Esther was a little bit nervous, she wasn't resistant. She wasn't somebody that was saying, you know what, I'm not even going to try it because I'm afraid. Fear sat down and courage rose up because she says, I can't resist what is true. I understand that if I don't step up to the plate, that something could happen to not just me, but to the people that I care about. So it leads me to this next definition of what it really means to be a queen. For all of my sisters that are watching, and for all of my guys that have queens in your life, are you encouraging them that it's okay to resist sometimes, but sometimes that resistance isn't necessary? Sometimes when I say, will you just show up for me, that's all I really want you to do. I just want you to show up. I just want to know that you're my cheerleader. I just want to know that you got my back. I just want to know that you're on my side. I just want to know you're my ride or die. I just want to know that when I want to talk to you and confide in you, that I got an ear that will listen. I just want to know that you're there for me through thick and through thin. And that's not just marriages. It's not just marriages. It's real relationships. Are you a queen that says, you know what, I resist anything that creates division? I resist talking about my other sisters because that creates division. I resist gossiping and murmuring and complaining because it creates division. I resist looking down my nose at you because I think I'm better than that because that creates division. I resist when somebody says, hey, I need you, can you come and show up? And I say, I ain't doing all that because it creates division. What are we modeling as queens? What are we teaching our young ladies to model as queens? You see, what I love about Esther is Esther got to this point where she understood that she has a purpose, and her purpose was beyond her beauty. So I want to ask you this third attribute as a queen. Do you know your purpose? Do you understand why you're here? Do you understand that God has given you something other than this outside? The outside is awesome, it's beautiful, it's marvelous, but what favor and grace has it opened up so that you can do something else? Is your attitude one that models one that says, I understand my purpose? Or are you constantly saying, I don't know why I'm here? Why don't you know? That you know, and it seems like, yeah, but you just don't understand. I've been looking and no, why don't you know? Why don't you know why God has created you? Why don't you know what benefits you bring to your family and to your friends and to the team that you're on? Why don't you know? Could it be that we've been distracted by living up to these Vashti standards of, you know what, the world says it should be done like this and it should look like this, that we've lost that drive and that intense pursuit of, I've got to know my purpose. I must know why I'm here. I must know why I've been created. Why don't you know? As a queen, it says that a queen is someone that is highly respected and that has obtained success. What are you going to be successful at? What is it? Because what you're successful at, could that be your purpose? Could that be why God created you? But how can you sit on that throne? See, I don't want us to continue to throw out these labels. You know, I used to hear it before, oh, she's a diva, or she's a beast, or she's this and she's that. And now the term that's out there is she's a queen. But do you know what a queen is? And what she does, she knows her purpose. And she's very clear in it. Because if you're not clear in it, what will happen is you begin finding yourself fulfilling everybody else's purpose. Finding yourself fulfilling everybody else's dream. Finding yourself doing what the world says that you need to do and what you need to put on and how you need to look so that you can get that ring. Baby, do you know that if you don't understand who you are, you will become somebody else's are? You will become, and that's what I meant to say, you will become somebody else's are. You'll become everything that they want you to be. And you'll never understand your foundation and your purpose. So when I looked at this text and I was looking at Esther, I said one thing that Esther understood, that as a queen, I got a king that I'm responsible for. That I'm not just responsible to, I'm responsible for. How I show up reflects him. It models him. And I'm not just going to show up in my beauty. There's nothing wrong with him saying, I want to show off my lady. There's nothing wrong with that. But when I open my mouth, will people say, man, that girl has something to say. She wasn't just good looking, she was smart. She made me think. She motivated me. She challenged me. She made me want to get in and go a little bit further. Will you be the person that understands why you're here? That's how you get success. That's how you get to this place where you become highly respected as a queen should be. And I say this because it truly, as I was looking at the book of Esther, I began to think of all of the Queen Vashtis that are out there. You know, the Queen Vashtis that are in this place where you're like, okay, Vashti, you're cute and all. But what type of conversation and intellect do you have? You're cute and all, Queen Vashti. But are you so stuck up on you that you don't even recognize that God created you also with a purpose in mind and a plan? See, we've got to get away from the world's definition of what it means to be a woman. And again, this message isn't just for my ladies, it's for my men. Because what I truly believe is as we go through things, and this is going to get a little deep, and I hope you're hanging there with me, but as we go through things, the things that we say, I like this and I like that, this is what you're kind of encouraging and promoting. So if you like the woman that's half dressed, and you like the woman that's flipping upside down and dropping it hot for you. And if you like the one that, you know what, is like, ooh, goodness, that's my freak in the bread, but is she your lady in the street? Yeah, I pulled it Luda. I pulled it Luda. Don't judge me. He said a lady in the street, a freak in the bed. That was the song. But if your likes are the freaks in the street, and the women are trying to, because they don't know their purpose, see how this comes together? So now they're going off of what you like. But where are the Esthers at? That are standing with courage and saying, yeah, I'm pretty, but there's certain things I'm not going to do. Yeah, thank you, I appreciate it. You said I'm fine, but there's certain things I'm not going to do. I'm not going to become this just so that I can become another part of that pile over there. See, I don't want to just be a queen by title. I want to be that queen that when you say, babe, come on in here in the room, that you're like, that's my class. I want to be that queen that when you say, hey, mom, will you show up at the event, you're like, that's my mama right there. I want to be that queen when I walk in the room, my sorors and my sisters are like, that's my big sister. I want to be in the room with queens that know how to cheer other queens on, and that's not Vashti. What she got on? What she thinks she doing? Who's she trying to impress? Whose husband she trying to take? Really? See, we've got to rise up and do a little bit better. We've got to rise up and do a little bit better. I've had people, and I'm going to be very transparent today, and they've asked me, they said, Tab, when you get on and you do your Tuesday lives, girl, you be looking good. And I said, yeah, that's all I got. Because what I understand is I'm not on Tuesday live to promote my body, but I'm not ashamed of my body. My smile, but I'm not ashamed of my smile. The beauty God has given me, I'm not ashamed of that beauty. But what I want to show you is what Esther looks like, so that you understand that you can say, wow, that's a good-looking woman, but she got brains. Wow, that's a good-looking woman, but she operates with grace. Wow, that's a good-looking woman, but she loves the Lord. Where is that balance? Have we lost that? When we talk about what it means to be a queen, you can't just sit in position and not have the courage to be who you are fully, but to also know that you got a responsibility. And I believe as Esther rose to the occasion for such a time as this, and a time when today people really don't know who they are. They're trying to be who they see, and who wears this, and who sings this, and who dresses like this. Who are you? Sweetheart, my sister, who are you? And for my brothers, I want you to have these conversations with the women that are in your life. Who are you? Because that's when you get when you get a woman, whether she is your mother, your auntie, your grandma, your wife, your girlfriend, your sister, that knows and is clear about who she is and her purpose, and that has love in her heart for people. It was Esther's love in her heart for her people that made courage rise up and say, you know what, if I die doing this, I'm going to die trying, but I won't die sitting here looking pretty. I want you to start asking these questions. I want you to redefine what beauty really is and what it looks like. There's nothing wrong at all with being cute. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's not all. That can't be all that you have to offer. That can't be all that you want on your arm. That can't be all that you want to say, you know what, she was fine, and that's why I put that ring on her hand. That was it? You married her because she was fine? That was all she brought to the table? Was there any substance? Could you have a rich conversation? Did she challenge you, and not in a way like Queen Vashti did of, I'm challenging you. No, I ain't showing up. Did she challenge you and say, baby, you can do anything. I'm on your team. I'm cheering for you. I got your back. Where are those queens at? They're out there. But we've got to be willing to get out of society's definition of what a queen is. Can I offer this to you? Every queen is not a woman. You can be a female, born into this world as a female, grow up and mature in age. But that doesn't make you a queen. A queen by definition is someone that is highly respected and has success. And what's interesting in that definition is it doesn't mention anything about outer. Highly respected. So now that makes me go a little bit deeper. When we speak, the words that come out of our mouth, that we model. Because remember, the issue was Queen Vashti was modeling this thing called division in front of the people. Do our words model this or this? If I sat down and talked with you for 5 minutes, would I get this gossiping, talking about other people, tearing other folks down? Or would I get this collaboration, unity, love, caring for one another? Because see, that has nothing to do with gender. You can be a man and do this. Are you really a king? Yeah, flip that on me. Are you really a king? I believe kings and queens bring people together. Kings and queens are respected and they're not afraid to demonstrate courage. It's not easy being a king or a queen. There's times when you have to stand alone and recognize that this is a throne that doesn't have 2 seats on it. There's times when you got to be in the silence and say, no, I can't rock with that right there. So you're not a part of the palace. You're not a part of the crew. You're in position. And your actions have to demonstrate that you've reached this highly respected role for a reason. And that takes courage. Courage isn't always the person that's willing to fight this way. Courage is the person that sometimes fights for what's in here. That fights for the God that they serve and says, no, you know what? I can't deal with God on that right there. I'd love to, but I can't deal with God on that right there. I'm going to have to stay in position. Kings and queens aren't resistant to working together, to supporting one another. Let's take the world's speculation out of Queen Vashti that she was supposed to show up to dance and do all of this. Because that's, again, it's not in biblical text. Could it be that the king just wanted his queen to be by his side? Like the Bible says. Could it be that being resistant to collaboration? Who respects people that really do this all the time? So what are we modeling? Are we modeling that when someone calls, I'm the person that you can depend on? Are we modeling that when you need me, I'm the person that'll be there? Are we modeling that, you know what, there's things that you're going to have in your life and I'll show up for you? Or I ain't answering that call. They always want this. They listen. What are we modeling? What are we modeling? You know what I love as I come to a close, today wasn't a kind of jump around kind of thing. It was one where I just wanted to talk to you as we go through this book of Esther. We know that our youth are influenced by our adult actions. But what I want to offer to you today is, unfortunately, because a lot of men and women don't know why they're here, they too are easily influenced by other people's adult actions. We see something in a commercial, music video, cover of a picture that was taken, and we begin to follow it. We become a part of the trend. And there's some things that I want to just suggest to you that we're following that don't line up with who we are. The Bible says that we are a part of a royal priesthood. There's a certain standard that we should have, where we've gotten to this place in our minds that we truly understand who we are and why we're here. And if there's anything that I would ask that you get out of the book of Esther, is Esther came to this place where she recognized, this is why I'm here. She could have very much said, you know what, I was an orphan. I can relate to that. Product of foster care. I am a product of foster care. But who I am today is not who I was then. I had to make a conscious decision to rise to the occasion. And sometimes that's hard. Because again, we're so used to being a part of following the trend. Will you be a trendsetter? Will you be the king and the queen that God predestined for you to be? Will you have the courage to say, you know what, not another day goes by where I will sit in the face of God not knowing why am I here? I can't continue to get distracted in busy work and doing this and doing that, and I don't know why I'm here. Queen Esther got to a place in life where she finally understood, this is why I'm here. And because of her courage, many people were spared, were saved. Who's connected to your why I'm here? Who's just waiting for you to get in position? Get on your throne and say, hold up. I got purpose. And if you just get in position and get on your throne and not make it a position of entitlement, but a position of, I've got to have success in this role, so I'm going to do something successful. And just because we're pretty, that does not define successful. Just because we look good, it doesn't mean you're successful. What are you doing in the current position that you're in right now that somebody else is connected to? And somebody is waiting for you to rise up to the occasion. Somebody is waiting for you to be bold enough to step away from the crowd, and not by doing it this way, but saying, wait a minute, let me, I'm in this position for a reason. There's some things that I'm supposed to be doing. Who's waiting on you? Depending on you to truly be the queen that God designed for you to be? Who's waiting on you to be that king? Because again, it's not just about Esther. That king that says, you know what, this can't, I'm not tolerating that. I tolerated it before, But whoever's going to be with me has got to be on my team. They've got to show up. They've got to be present when I call and say, hey, I need you. They want to be there. They're excited to be there. I want to say this. Some of you are in some positions, and it's hard because you have someone that you say left, they say right. And it's like you just can't get on the same page. How do you really rule? You know, the Bible says a house divided will not stand. We've got to get back on the same page. And that's whether you're in a relationship, whether you're someone seeking a relationship, whether that relationship is one with a spouse, or it's a boyfriend, girlfriend, or it's a relationship with your fraternity brothers, your sorority sisters, the church that you're in, the people that you call friends. Are you on the same page, or is there division? Is there entitlement? We've got to do that. And I believe that the book of Esther is a great example if we look at it beyond just the fact that Esther did this, this, and this. But if we not ignore that there was another queen in this story. There was, and she started it off, there was another queen in this story. But she didn't really understand what it meant to be a queen. Today I just want to bring clarity so that not only do you know it, but you can be clear. You can walk in it. You can be it. Queens, here we are. We need you to get in position and do it in a way where people will respect how you got there and respect that that's the person that's connected to me. Kings, where are you at? We need for you also to get in position and follow this as a good model and example. That you know what? Can I really rule effectively when I have someone that creates division on my team? Can I really rule effectively when I have someone on my team that models, I'm not down with you? And those are tough conversations to have. And I know some of you are saying, well, Tab, are you promoting? Are you telling people to get a divorce? Nope, don't put any words in my mouth. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you're the king, bring it back together. Get this on the same page, back in position. This cannot be acceptable. This can no longer be okay. This is not something that we need to model in front of our family, in front of our friends, in front of the world. We need to be on the same page. Different type of tone today. I decided to act a little cleaner because y'all know normally I'm up here. But today I decided to act a little cleaner. Because again, there's so many people that are connected to who we are supposed to be and who we need to be for such a time as this. The world needs authentic people that are truly willing to do the work, to obtain the success, and be respected. And I hope that in this book of Esther, that you were able to pull some nuggets away, that you'll be able to say, you know what, I might need to do some things just a little differently. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Guys, I love you. Um, I hope that you got something out of this word today that you can use, that you can share with your children, your nieces, your nephews, um, because they're growing up and they're going to be teens one day. And what a great opportunity to share with our sons and our nephews and our young men. Hey, there's nothing wrong with choosing someone that looks good, but make sure she's good for you. Make sure that she's somebody that's going to show up for you, that's going to have your back, that's going to love you and care for you. Make sure she's going to represent you well. And there's nothing wrong with us encouraging and teaching our little princesses, our young ladies. Baby, always look your best. But remember, that's not all you have to offer. Be able to think, have courage, be wise, have heart, know your purpose, know why you're here. So, in this message, I think we can glean something from Queen Vashti and also from Queen Esther. And we can't leave out the king. Y'all, thank you for spending your lunch with me. I love you. You know I do. I hope you'll be back next week, Tuesday Live. We're going to hit the next book at 11:30. See what God has to say in that next book. Um, but I hope also that before we get together again, the Lord willing, that you will put into practice, that you'll stimulate some thought and say, you know what? Let me really think about what it really means to be a queen, to have a queen, the benefits, the pluses. What does it feel like to have somebody that has my back, that's on my side, that shows up for me, that encourages me, that motivates me, that is not resistant to trying new things, that loves me, that knows her identity and her purpose and her intent, and she's excited about being on my team. Where is she at? And if I got her, man, let me remind her, you are my queen. And I'm grateful and I'm thankful that you're in my life. So I hope you got something out of today. I hope you got something out of today. I will see you next week, the Lord willing. Look, sweet kisses from my heart to your heart. Have a great and amazing, awesome festival.